All right, Coach, can you start with your opening statement on the night?
Yeah, just amazing fight by our guys. Never gave up, never gave in. We've had a lot of games like that this year, and a lot of those haven't gone our way. But tonight it did. What a tremendous 3 free throws by Jalen in clutch, and 2 huge ones in overtime. And Jamel made a big 3 at the top of the key. And we got a couple stops in a row and a few rebounds down there. Although we weren't good in those areas tonight, and that's just what it takes to win a close game. So excited for the guys, and at the end of the day, we'll live to see another day.
Coach, obviously a crazy night tonight, not just for you, but Delaware UTEP as well. Now that you have literally just one game left in front of you, you always say it's the next game. You're 0-0 going into Saturday. Just how do you guys close out the season now that you're finally literally down the stretch?
Yeah, it's always what's tough about these press conferences, because I haven't thought about that stuff. I mean, we're just going to get ourselves prepared and get ready to go try to win another game. We've talked about it's a 6-game season, and we got 5 left. We're 1-0 right now, so we obviously got to go win that one on Saturday. It sounds like I haven't looked at scores, heard a few people say a few things, but it's still the same thing that I've said from the beginning. I'm a person from the old school. I don't want to depend on somebody else to help me get somewhere. We're going to get there ourselves. We got to go win a basketball game, and it's what we need to do. So just really pleased though with the way that we finished tonight, and got a loose ball, got a really big stop down there, and the ball went out. Gave them 1 second under the basket, and I thought we overcame a lot tonight. We overcame, I just didn't think we were real fluid, and it was just an ugly game. And you have to give Jacksonville State credit. They came in, and I thought they really punched us and took it to us tonight. And you can do 2 things: you can lay down or you can respond. And I thought the last 10 minutes of regulation, 5 minutes of overtime, our guys really responded.
Coach, after struggling through parts of the game and then putting it to overtime, what does it say about this team's resilience that you were able to stay composed and finish with the win when it most mattered?
Yeah, I just think, it makes me feel good as a coach, because those are things that we've been trying to teach all year long, right? I mean, we want to teach, because that kind of moment there, that's going to help you in your life. When things get tough and things aren't going your way, how are you going to pick yourself up every day, get out of bed, and make good decisions and all those good things? So I was proud of them. I was glad that they could see one of those go their way and see it through, and because we've sure had a lot of them not. And unfortunately in the coaching business, you always remember the ones that you lose. You don't remember those as much when you win them.
What did you see maybe differently when you guys were starting to come back, starting to shoot better, than maybe wasn't happening? Because it wasn't really a good shooting night up until towards the end.
Yeah, I just thought they were really physical with us, and I just think we decided that we were going to be physical too. They top blocked all of Jamel's down screens and staggers, and we back cut a few of them and got the ball to the big, got a few handoffs, got a couple of lobs to Juice. I just thought we finally, it's like trying to pound on a rock. Sometimes those rocks are really, really big and really thick, and you got to pound it a long time before you get to the middle of it. And they were unbelievable defensively tonight. I thought their half-court defense was just amazing, and you got to give them credit. But we got a little 4 out, 1 in, and got Juice moving around a little bit, and we got downhill. We got fouled, got to the free throw line finally, and we didn't make them at times, but it just gave us those opportunities to give us a little bit more paint presence and some paint touches.
Was there like a specific moment in the game that you felt things start to shift and the momentum start to head you guys' way?
Yeah, man, that's a real good question. Right now, not off the top of my head. Sometimes, those moments you remember and it sticks out in your mind. I don't really remember them. I just remembered looking up, and at one point, we got it down to 35-30, I remember that, and then it got back up to 14. And then I just remembered one time looking up, and it was 10. And I just was thinking to myself, it's a weird game, because even when we cut it to 2, it didn't feel like it was 2. But then it was 3 minutes left, and now we've been pressing and running, and I'm like, okay, now let's just guard without fouling. We still made a couple of silly fouls, and did a few things that were kind of bonehead. But again, when we needed to make plays, we did.
I was just going to say, speaking of fouls, obviously Julius and Jacoby both fouled out of the game. You took them out when they were in foul trouble. You threw them back in, and then I heard you told both of them separate occasions, play tough. what were you looking out of from those guys, and what did you mean by that?
Yeah, you know, the hard thing is when you have good players that you depend on and they're in foul trouble and then they start to play a little bit soft or they play not to foul. And at that point, when you're down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points, you can't play that way. You know, you just got to go with it and you got to play and you got to hope that the officials know that they're two of your better players and they got 4 fouls. And, you know, I just told them, like, man, just play. And we got guys sitting over there that are ready. You know, Jalen, he wasn't his best that second time in. And when he sat over there on the bench and Jacoby fouled out, he was like, Coach, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm going to do this for you. And he did. And so I think that's the good thing about our team is we've got some depth. We got some guys that have waited their turn. And, you know, look at Chris Terrell tonight. You know, first time through, I skipped him. And I put him through the second time through. And, wow, I thought he kept us in it in the first half. We could have got down really big in the first half if it wasn't for him. He was great, you know. And then, you know, it says a lot about Kyrie's. I mean, he's had an up and down year. You know, he's dealt with all kinds of stuff. And then now he's got a broken finger and, you know, got released this week and played out there with a, you know, basically 4 fingers on one hand. I mean, you know, he did a hell of a job, made a big free throw, got a big rebound, block out. You know, there at the end, I wanted him in there on that free throw block out. I thought they were going to try to miss on purpose and pop it back out. And, you know, just did an amazing job. We got on the floor and got a loose ball.
Jamel has continuously been the guy for you guys to take the last shot that you guys trust to make those key moments. He's missed a lot of those. He's made a couple, but he's missed some as well. What about him makes you trust it a lot to take that final shot and win the game for you guys?
Well, first of all, you know, he's made a lot of them too. And he's made a lot of them. They might not necessarily been the last shot of the game, but, you know, for an example, at Jacksonville State, we were up 6 or 8. He made a huge 3 with 2 minutes to go to make it an 11-point game. Like, he's made a lot of shots this year. But to answer your question, the reason is because, number 1, he's our best player. And number 2, he's a shot maker. And number 3, he has a short memory. So, like, when he does miss one, he gets back up on the horse and he rides and he next play and he wants that thing again. And that's the thing I love about Jamel. I've coached a lot of guys in my life, and this is a statement that I'll stand on. He's a competitor, man. You know, that's a guy you want to get in the foxhole with you. You know, he doesn't always maybe play defense the way I want him to. He doesn't always rebound the way I want him to. But there is no doubt in my mind his heart and what he wants, and he wants to win. And number 1, he wants to win. And, you know, I think great example is there at the end of regulation. You know, we threw the ball to him ahead, and Jalen was wide open in the corner, and he passed it to him. You know, a guy that doesn't know how to play basketball and that doesn't care about winning in his team, he would have took a bad 3 right there instead of making the wide open pass to Jalen. And, you know, like I told Jalen, he missed that one, but it came back around, and I thought that 3 he shot right there in front of me was going in. I thought he was going to get a 4-point play to win the game, but just made 3 huge free throws to get it to overtime. And I felt real good. You know, a lot of times you go to overtime, you know, like the game Saturday at Middle, a little bit worried when we went overtime because it was a little bit of a letdown. But you got to give our guys credit. They kept fighting and had a chance at the end, right? But tonight when we went overtime, I felt good about our chances.
Yeah. And he's had a tremendous season so far. Probably should make first team all conference or at least second team. Just, you know, you guys have a lot of new guys. He's one of them. But what do you feel like about him has allowed him to, you know, take on the mantle he's currently taking on, you know, taking on the leading scorer mantle and kind of just do all the things that you wanted to do for the team and be the team leader essentially?
Well, that's what we recruited him for. I mean, we recruited him to be that guy. And, you know, he's just been locked in. He's been locked in and, you know, he wants to win. He wants the ball in crunch time. And here's the greatest thing. Our guys have learned how to play with him. So now when he does have it at the beginning of the year, we all sat around and watched him. And now we move and we get open and we make it hard for other teams to trap him or to do other things. And, you know, and he's been great at finding the open man when he's not open. But listen, 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, I want him to shoot the shot.
Coach, you know, having the players, you know, be ready for every single play of your own, of your calls and stuff. But this one, it was the biggest overtime win for you. What can a comeback overtime win like this teach the team as you prepare for the final game on Saturday at 2 p.m.?
I think the biggest thing is just like, you know how it is. I mean, somebody's trying to teach you something and you don't see the result, like a close game or an overtime win or whatever the case may be. And I just thought that tonight they got to see, like, when you do the right things and you believe and you hang in there and you stick together, that good things can possibly happen for you. You know, as far as what it gives us, I think it just, you know, it can't hurt. It gives you confidence, right? And they know, I mean, those guys are smart. They're already on their phones. They know we probably got to win on Saturday. Doesn't matter. It's not going to change it's not going to change my perspective. It's not going to change my preparation. We're going to come in here tomorrow and do what we always do, and we're going to get ready to try to go out on Saturday and beat a team that beat us probably 3 of our worst defeats this year. One of them was them at their place, and we got to come back and we got to play better if we're going to have a chance to beat them. And they lost tonight. They're a good coach team, and they're going to be ready to play on Saturday and fight hard too.
Coach, going back to my question before about fouls, and I know you're not allowed to talk about the refs, so I'm going to word this carefully. You're already going up against one opponent in the opposite jersey when calls aren't really going in your favor. How does that affect your coaching style, and what is your message to your guys during that time when it maybe feels like you're not going up against one opponent but two?
Well, I think sometimes what you see on the floor and who you see on the floor has to be different when I get in the huddle, right? I mean, I lost my mind there on that rebound that Anthony got. Lost it, right? But when I get in the huddle, I gotta flip that switch, and I can't be rattled when my guys got to be calm and cool and collective, and they can't worry about the officiating. That's my job to do. You know, look, I don't talk about officiating. I mean, to me, officiating doesn't win you and lose you games. It doesn't. I mean, I know a lot of people talk about that. Can it change a game as far as the momentum, or can it change the way the flow of the game is? Yes, I think so. But, you know, college basketball is really hard to call. I would guess it's probably the hardest sport to call. I think everything else has some black and white to it, but there's a lot of gray, and it's tough. And, you know, it was a hard fought game tonight, 2 teams that really, really got after it. I'll just say this, not trying to avoid your question, I'll just say that our guys overcame a lot tonight. They overcame a lot of adversity tonight.
How are you able to maybe flip that switch where you're up and down the sideline in the game, you're riled up, you're very passionate, but you're able to get in the huddle and be composed and convey the message that you want to your team?
Well, I mean, I've been blessed. I worked for 2 great head coaches, and I watched them for a lot of years, and and I've been a head coach now for 16. So if you hadn't figured those kind of things out, you probably wouldn't still be a head coach. And I know that, I know there's a lot of people out there right now that probably don't think I'm a very good head coach, I'm sure, but I know what I'm doing. And yeah, I mean, the most important thing always is you got to be there for your guys. I mean, the team needs you, right? My prayer, I always have a prayer for every game. I don't pray like, gosh, we got to win this game. Man, I just always pray that I can do the best job for our guys. I just want to always be in the best position to give them the best possible way to win a game. And that's always my prayer, because I think that if you'll do that and you do things the right way, stuff's going to go your way when it needs to.
You good?
Just that last shot there that gave you guys the lead and ultimately won your game, just take me through what you saw, what was going on there, that last shot right there, the 3-pointer in overtime.
Just trying to make winning plays, trying to make winning plays for the team, and it was there, it was open. I worked on it with him every day. Sure, just my team trusted me in taking them shots. They gave me the ball. The ball went my way today.
What does it say about maybe who trusted you, that whether you're missing a shot, whether you're making a shot in the final moments, he always wants to come back to you at the end of the game to make the shot to help your team win?
Oh yeah, it ain't no secret. A lot of the attention is on me. So sure, just gotta make a winning basketball play. J-Ran had 2 great shots. Take it to overtime. That kind of spaced out the floor and made everybody be honest today, man. And that's how that plays open up for me.
Jalen, just take me through those 3 free throws at the end. I know they were all 3 here to make them. Were you feeling nervous, anxious, or just confidence? What was going on there at the line?
Sure, I had ultimate confidence in it, just because the trust with the team. Like, the team trusts me with certain shots. Like, I know I didn't shoot the ball the best today, but it still found me. And plays like that, all basketball always comes around. You play hard, you do the right thing, come back around. And free throws, those could have been my last free throws. Senior night Saturday, thinking like, man, it's life or death.
And when you were making those free throws and you went back, you kind of fist bump your teammates, talk to your teammates? What were your teammates telling you just at the line? Just
Man,
talk about
all encouraging things. Like, they had 100% trust in me that I was going to make the free throws. So I just had to get there and knock them down. All I heard was good things, good energy, next play. And that's how basketball works.
Obviously, as a team, you guys have found yourselves in this position multiple times, or at least coming down to the wire like that, not coming up on the winning side. As a team, what was the biggest difference that you guys were able to walk with the win this time? Especially, I think this was a harder game where usually you guys get punched in the mouth once and you kind of trail off. This really was back and forth, and you guys fought back multiple times, which is harder, and you did it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Sure, we didn't give up. We were down 10, 12, 14 multiple times in the game where we had opportunity where we could have gave up and was like, man, game not going our way today. The refs were, they had a lot of calls. The other team had a lot of calls. They were going to the free throw line a lot. It slowed the game down. They were playing their pace, and we just had to just stay composed and play our game, and it worked out for us.
I guess a similar question too. It wasn't just a close game. It wasn't just about basketball. I feel like this one really was a mental one. I heard a lot of chirping, more than I probably ever heard at a home game from another opponent. In my 2 years here, on top of, like you said, the refs, you can't comment on them, but everyone has their opinions. Just thoughts on that, and as a player, how you kind of move forward when it is more than basketball, I guess, or challenges are more than basketball in the game.
You just gotta stay disciplined. Like, coach put trust in us. We go hard every day in practice, and he preaches that we gotta control, we can control, and stuff like that. Like, we can't control with the refs, call a foul or call a jump ball or nothing. We just gotta control, we control the next play. There was a play at the end where we had to get a rebound, and he ended up missing, but I was so focused on blocking out that I ended up getting a lane violation. He ended up getting another free throw. And moments like that, everybody could have turned they head at me like, Jay, why you doing that? Stay disciplined, do that. But no one said nothing to me. Because stuff like that is the trust that we keep need to build on our players, stuff like that. End up coming right back to me, how I said, coming back around, loose ball, I dove for the ball, and the game was over.
For both of you, just was there a moment in the game, second half or anywhere, just where you felt the momentum shift you guys and it's like, okay, we can do this. We're coming back. We're gonna win this game. Was there a moment in the game when
He shoots the ball. He shoots the ball. Man, he's a bad guy. We work out every day together. We see the ball going to the rim a lot. So every time he shoots it, I think it's going in. But let's still crash, it's going in.
Any specific shot from him that stands out to you?
Man, it was a lot, man. I just say every shot, man. Every shot.
On offense, it wasn't a particularly good shooting night until the comeback, and then you guys started shooting better, making more shots. What was not going right that eventually ended up going right that allowed you guys to come back?
Well, I could say the whole first half. I felt like, honestly, the whole game we played pretty bad. We made a lot of mistakes, a lot of turnovers. They beat us on the glass. We defended okay. But, we came out second half, in the end and overtime, we came out looking like a better team, looking like us. And that's the difference, them first 5 minutes in the second half, I feel like, that was the momentum shift for me.
The lost scenarios for what could happen Saturday where you guys could play. So the simplest one is win and you guys are in. You guys are going to Huntsville next week. Just tell me about that. Just that you guys don't have to rely on anyone else. It's just you guys got to rely on you guys.
I got them to win. It's I wouldn't say a lot of pressure because no one wants to lose. And games like Saturday is just very important to everybody. Like, this is my first time having my mom out the game this year. So good motivation. I know some other guys got their parents out. I used to play in Huntsville. That was my first school. I went to school in Huntsville, so I'm trying to go back, with a different jersey on. So it's motivation all over the place. So we just got to keep grinding, come in practice tomorrow locked in, and ready to win Saturday.
What was it like having your mom there tonight?
It was great. I haven't seen her at all. Well, I saw her at home, but not seeing her in the games, it's tough sometimes. She's my motivation. So going up there, like at the free throw line, like my mom's 1,000 miles away. I'm at the free throw line, like I ain't bring her for nothing. We gotta win this game.
Mm-hmm.